How many giant alien robot space cats does it take to cut a robeast in half? As long as the connectors are all compatible and you don't have any duplicates, you're gonna need 5. Now, if we're talking airplanes, cars, and submarines, that's a whole different story. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and these are 10 things you need to know about Voltron. Right up front, let me assure you that there are no spoilers in this video. If you haven't watched either season of the Netflix Voltron the Legendary Defender animated series, I'm not going to spoil anything, but stay out of the comments. I can't guarantee that no one else will. Number 1. Voltron was created by Toei Animation of Tokyo, Japan, and World Events Productions of St. Louis, Missouri. Toei Animation has hundreds of movie and television productions in their portfolio over the last 60 years with titles like Tiger Mask, Devilman, Cutie Honey, Mazinger, Getter Robo, Captain Harlock, Kinnikuman, and the Dragon Ball series. And Transformers, and Sailor Moon, Fist of the North Star, One Piece, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And of course, World Events Productions brought you the other Voltron, Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs, Vitor the Starfire Champion, Widget the World Watcher, Twinkle the Dream Being, and their first all-original animated series, Denver the Last Dinosaur. Number 2. Saying World Events Productions created Voltron is being very generous. What they should really get credit for is marketing Voltron to the American audience. Voltron was originally created by Toei as Beast King Go Lion and already had a successful run on Japanese television from 1981 to 1982. Legend has it that Ted Koppler, head of World Events Productions, saw Go Lion footage at a science fiction convention and decided to license it, cut it up, rearrange it, recast it, and repackage it to suit the American audience. Legend also has it that Ted Koppler couldn't remember the name of the cartoon that he had watched at that sci-fi con and asked Toei for footage from The Lion One, referring to Toei's other lion-styled giant space robot Daltonias, which is what he actually saw, and Toei sent him the footage from Go Lion instead. Sorry, Mirai Robo Daltonias. In an alternate timeline, you just had a second season on Netflix and new toys all over Target. Number 3. Every cartoon in the 80s was just a 22-minute commercial to sell toys, and so was Voltron. World Events Productions had a plan to keep the Voltron train running for at least 3 shopping seasons, with 3 different Toei robot cartoons all under the Voltron banner. Go Lion was renamed Voltron 3, Die Rugger 15 was renamed Voltron 1, and Albegas was renamed Voltron 2. The first season of Voltron actually includes footage from both Go Lion and Die Rugger 15. The grand plan was that Voltron was going to be an intergalactic defense force made up of multiple Voltron robots, each protecting a different sector of the galaxy, a Voltron of Voltrons, if you will. But somewhere along the way, the marketing train got derailed. Season 1, Voltron 3, the Lion One, kicked it off and was a huge hit. Season 2, Voltron 1, the Vehicle One, confused American kids because it had the same name but was totally different, was not a hit. And Season 3, Voltron 2, the other one, never happened. Number 4. Voltron, the Lion One, features 5 lions, each piloted by a human, even though the lions can function without the aid of a human, just like a real cat. There's a kind of hybrid, symbiotic relationship where the pilot and the lion share a consciousness that gets complicated when all 5 of those pilots and all 5 of those lions join together in one giant 10-consciousness robot. And for some reason, even on the original Go Lion series, the pilots' uniform colors didn't match their lion colors. Red piloted green and then black, blue piloted red, black piloted blue until blue was taken over by pink, and the guy piloting the yellow lion wore orange. It's like they never even noticed that their suits were the exact same colors as the lions. All that technology, but they couldn't even sort the laundry correctly. Number 5. All 3 Voltrons were planned for the toy department, but the focus was on the original successful 5-lion combiner. Matchbox acted as the distributor of all the repackaged items being imported from Bandai, which included full-sized, fully functional combining robots chock full of die-cast parts for all 3 Voltrons, as well as smaller, non-combining Voltrons. Panache Place, the people who also brought you fur skins, released a full line of 3 3/4-inch action figures for the entire Lion Voltron team, complete with removable helmets, as well as several of the bad guys like King Zarkon and Prince Lotor. They also created a monstrosity of a full-size combining Voltron that each figure could fit into. The lions look terrible, the combined robot looks terrible, but hey, those figures sure do fit in those cockpits. Number 6. Lion Voltron ran for 1 season in 1984. Vehicle Voltron ran for 1 season in 1985. In 1986, World Entertainment Productions commissioned Toei to create original footage for a standalone crossover film featuring both Lion and Vehicle Voltron called Voltron Fleet of Doom. It was an attempt to finally merge the 2 series, but ended up closing the curtain on the initial Voltron era. Fleet of Doom is 42 minutes of laborious exposition created from existing footage of the two Voltron teams with brief glimpses of shared screen time sprinkled in, usually as still images. Eventually, the two Voltrons do team up to battle the Fleet of Doom, which in theory is a dream come true for Voltron fans of any age. But learn from my mistake that you are not going to get that 42 minutes back. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it, but before you do, ask yourself, why has it never been released in Japan? Number 7. In 1998, Voltron got the CG animation treatment because, hey, everybody else was doing it. Clancy Brown, Tim Curry, Michael Bell, Tress MacNeille, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Billy West. If those names don't mean anything to you, trust me, that's an all-star cast of voice actors. However, worse than Transformers Beast Wars, worse than most of the games on the N64, Voltron the Third Dimension is a visual train wreck of a garbage fire of early CG animation, even by 1998 standards, and I can say that as someone who tried to watch it in 1998. I would have killed it after the first 8 minutes, but Voltron the Third Dimension apparently managed to go on for 2 seasons. And of course there were toys including a reissue of the original 5 Lions, new action figures, a new black stealth Voltron, a villainous 5-dragon combiner called Dracotron, and Voltrex, the dinosaur Voltron that surely was in no way intended to infringe on the Power Rangers Megazord. Number 8. Voltron tried again in 2011 with Voltron Force. Visually better than Third Dimension with a stronger, more coherent narrative than the original, it featured a fresh update to the look of the Lions and that weird mix of CG animated robots with traditional 2D animation of everything else. The Lions got a significant makeover, but all the familiar elements were there, and also there were some bad guys and some monsters, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know this show existed until I was researching this video. I'm just gonna leave you with this quote I found on Wikipedia. Quote, "At the end of the final episode of Season 1 titled Black, Daniel still has Hagarium in him. There was supposed to be a second season, but due to bad ratings, bad storyline, and bad new characters, the show got canceled without explaining what happens next." End quote. Number 9. In 2005, producer Mark Gordon announced a live-action Voltron movie that was being co-produced and scored by, ladies and gentlemen, Pharrell Williams! But as so often happens with my dreams coming true, in 2010, World Entertainment Productions found themselves in a legal dispute with Toei Animation as to who actually owned the rights to make a movie in the first place, filed that under questions that should have been asked on the first day. All I can tell you is that it's currently the year 2017 in the Biff Tannen timeline, and this movie still hasn't happened. But you know, if that Power Rangers mess goes well, who knows? Number 10. Meanwhile, since all the legal stuff was still jumbled up, DreamWorks and Netflix got together to produce an exclusive season of Voltron, rebooting, retelling, re-establishing the original story and characters for the kids who grew up on Voltron, who are now adults with kids and or toy shows on YouTube, but with all the love and freshness and creative expertise that a successful filmmaking enterprise like DreamWorks can throw at it. Co-showrunner Joaquim Dos Santos, a fan of the original Voltron series growing up, said that they, as a production, quote, wanted to make the show they remembered, not the actual show that they watched, end quote. And I'm gonna riff on that quote a bit and add, because the original show was terrible and we were dumb kids, and just like all the other things that happened to us at that age, we block out the traumatic parts and nostalgically amplify the significance of the good parts, end quote. Me. Season 1 was a huge success for DreamWorks and Netflix. Season 2 was announced almost immediately after Season 1 ended, and new toys are arriving at stores. Will the 80s ever end? Voltron was part of the huge tidal wave of pop culture milestones that just won't stay down for long. After several failed attempts to keep the brand relevant, DreamWorks and Netflix have finally found a way to make it feel new and exciting again. Over 30 years since it first arrived in 1984, with any luck, Season 3 of the animated series and a live-action movie aren't far behind. Thanks for watching, thanks for reaching over and clicking like, thanks for sharing this video, please subscribe if you haven't already. I promise you almost everything we put into these videos has been arduously researched or is at least based on stories that sound like they could be true. Let us know in the comments below if you're the person who butts in with the, am I the only one who liked the vehicle Voltron more than the lion one? Yes, you're the only one. Cut.